Good morning and welcome to another edition of Real Talk TV here on AOC Community Media. That's Cox 15 and LUS Channel 3. We want to thank the staff and management of AOC Community Media. Please consider joining AOC Community Media. Become a member, become a supporter. Support these great, fine shows on AOC Community Media. We don't always have to agree with everybody who has a point on AOC. But we all agree that freedom of speech, being able to have a platform to educate the community is the most important thing right now. The most powerful weapon in change in America right now is the media. For instance, the media in different situations is normalizing what some of these clowns who are running things in the White House are doing, kidnapping people, taking people off the street, bringing them to Louisiana, making Louisiana the prison capital of the world. Well, it's the media is normalizing these things. These things are not normal. These are not normal times. So we are here to give you the whole truth, nothing but the truth, and swear to God, the truth. So today on Real Talk, we have a special guest in studio. We're waiting on our guest. Brother Keith Falk is in the house today, so hopefully we have him on in a minute to talk about some things. And I want to bring up some things that my shirt right here as a tribute to Tyree Nichols, the young brother that was beaten down at the hands of, black officers. Show you where we're at in America. We got black officers killing a young brother who has the same skin color. And some people want to say it's not about race. It's definitely about race. Law enforcement sometimes get trained in a manner that even black officers, they cross the line. And in the case of Tyree Nichols, a couple of officers were exonerated on state charges. And one of the things we're going to have to do is continue to be vigilant, continue to be strong, and voice our opinion. We're going to bring on Brother Keith Falk in a second whenever he's ready. I think he's getting his thing together. All right, Brother Keith, are you ready? Brother Keith?
Jay.
Hey, good morning, Brother Keith. Are you ready?
Good morning, Brother Jay. Yeah, I'm ready. Let me
Yeah, okay. Well, you seem to got an obstruction in front of your camera right above you. I don't know if you see it on camera. It looks like a leaf, man. That certainly is different. Well, that's good. Are you into the plants, man? You into the plants?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Good morning. How you doing?
Good morning, Brother Jay. How's it going? This morning, want to say good morning to all the all our listening audience, viewing audience, and the viewing coverage. Also, we got to thank AOC, Digital Soul, Real Talk Media, and Brother Jay for keeping our information source to the community going uncensored, uncut, raw, and it's information on what's going on and how to handle our safety. We need to we got to thank Brother Jay for that, for keeping that communication throughout the community, because we know we ain't getting it like that on the major on the major networks. We not getting this information like that. If we getting it, it's either catered to or tailored to a certain topic, or tailored to protect a certain group of people.
Right.
We're not getting it the way we're supposed to get it.
Now, Brother Keith, I want to start off, and you and I had a discussion about all the police issues going on around the country, and I started off with Brother Tyree Nichols, who the Memphis police, at the hands of black officers, and there were white involved also this time, but we got to be just as diligent when it's black officers doing these very egregious acts against the people, and those officers got acquitted. last week and so forth, and there's a lot of public outrage. But also down here in South Louisiana, we want to highlight these cases and these things, Brother Keith. I got a clip from the local CBS affiliate concerning a traffic stop with a brother we hope we could have him on our show. And I want to play that clip. You don't mind, Keith, Brother Keith?
I don't mind, Brother Jay.
Okay, I'm going to run it right quick.
Well-known businessman speaks out after he believes he faced an unjust traffic stop that led to him being profiled for drugs. News 10's Rodriguez Stevens spoke with him and has comments from the sheriff's office. This is a story you'll only see on 10.
Initially, when the traffic stop happened, Michael Ruffin Sr. says he was confused as to why a traffic stop led to a drug search. However, he says after he had time to think things over, he believes he was profiled because of the type of car he was driving.
You're just looking to think that, well, this person could not possibly be able to do this without doing some illegal stuff. Everybody that knows me knows one thing about me, man, I work hard.
Michael Ruffin Sr. says he was stopped by the St. Mary Parish Drug Task Force because of a traffic violation of an improper lane change. He says he was questioned about driving a Mercedes-Benz, and matters escalated to where a K-9 unit was called to search his car.
If the reason that you stopped me was warranted, well, we'll have to deal with it. But you can't even prove to me that the reason that you stopped me was so. I mean, he shot a black man driving a black Mercedes, and that's I don't understand that. That's not sitting well with me.
News 10 spoke with a professor at Southern University Law Center about the law and policy that dictates an unreasonable search. Erica Johnson Rose, a visiting professor at law at Southern University Law Center, says probable cause and reasonable suspicion are both levels of proof that enables law enforcement officers to do certain things.
Probable cause is needed. 1, to arrest a person. You must have probable cause. 2, to be able to do a full search of a person or a search of a home or a search of a vehicle. You need probable cause. The officer. This of proof that officers must have to begin
Officers quoted reasonable suspicion for detaining him after stopping him for a traffic violation. He says officers requested to search his vehicle, which he declined. He says he was then detained while officers called for a K-9. But according to policy, as stated by Professor Johnson Rose, in order to conduct the search, officers needed reasonable suspicion, which Ruffin says officers did not tell him, and the officers continued to detain him, then handcuff him until the K-9 arrived. News 10 received a statement from the sheriff's office saying, quote, "This incident in question has not been adjudicated. Therefore, we are unable to provide specific details at this time. What we can confirm is that all departmental policies and state laws were followed during the course of the traffic stop. The driver was issued a citation and released." The sheriff's office says all traffic stops conducted by their deputies are recorded on body-worn cameras, and incidents are reviewed internally by Patrol Command and the Office of Professional Standards, regardless of whether a public complaint is filed. Rodriguez Stevens, KLFY, News 10.
There you go, people. You see what's going on in St. Mary Parish. It's going on in Lafayette. I'm hearing some things about Lafayette PD. There was an incident over the weekend. I got the social media posts. All you have to do is search for it, LPD, and someone under Ridley Scott posted this stuff about a young man being beating after was supposedly warned to leave, and they say he took his time or whatever, and the cops jump on him and beat him. So you're starting to see what Donald Trump said so many years ago, and that holds true now. It holds true now. When he said, Brother Keith, he said, don't be so nice when you arrest him. And what does that mean? That means rough him up, beat him up. Same thing happened to Tyree Nichols. Same thing happened to Freddie Gray in Baltimore. These things keep on happening, Brother Keith.
Correct, brother Jay. And uh, I knew about the probable cause, but reason of suspicion, I didn't know that was the law. You know, um.
Yeah, I'm
So
sorry about that. Go ahead.
that's good. We got that information out there from that from that law professor. But two things wrong. They call for a canine. They call for a canine, and they didn't. He denied to let them search his car, but they detained him, and that's the thing. That's where we're going wrong. That's where things can turn left. That's where things start to turn left with these police officers, is once they get you in handcuffs. Once they get you in handcuffs, then if they decide that they wanna commit some police brutality, they feel it's comfortable after you're in handcuffs because they feel they done disabled you, you know. And I say be vigilant. Again, like I said a couple of Tuesdays back, the police department issued a statement, especially here in Lafayette, reminding all citizens about the 25-foot law, 25 feet law. But like I said, I want to remind our citizens we still have rights, and we still, if we see some police brutality going on or some wrongdoing going on with within the police departments, whether be it state troopers, be it your local police department, try to get it on camera.
Right.
But also, I want to remind everyone: try not to interfere with your recording or speak certain things during your recording, because they'll use it and flip it and justify the situation.
Right.
And another thing,
Go ahead.
I'm gonna let you finish, brother. I'm
No,
gonna let you get
while
your
you could continue to talk, I want to put this poster up right quick. This is a poster from a sister sent me this concerning a rally, or a what they call it, a sign holding. You know, we got to do more than sign holding too. You know, it's great that we got good trouble on our mind, but you know, we got some different dynamics. We're dealing with some evil people, and the problem with us in our community, we have become docile. We have become politically and socially docile in the way we approach the way they are doing. Even though they're actually inflicting violence on our people, Keith. You know what? You saw what happened with the mayor of Newark and the black Congress people, the two female black Congress being manhandled, and then they come on TV and lie and say, how can some old lady congressman and a sister body slam an ICE agent if they're supposed to be so bad, right? The thing is, we got to start speaking, not just holding signs, because they held signs up at Trump's speech when Al Green got up and shook his stick. We got to be able to call out this. The fight is on a local level. The fight is not necessarily Trump. Trump is on the national scene, and he got everybody upholding him. Trump is the weakest link, actually, if you think about it. He's the face on it. We got to be able to call out these local politicians who normalize the relationship with these MAGA Republicans here in South Louisiana. Now, I'm going to say this, and I love the brother, Mr. Vincent Pierre, right, who was once the powerful head of the Democratic Party, the Democratic Caucus in Louisiana, right? You serving Mayor Blanco Boulay, right? Mayor Blanco Boulay is a member of the Republican Party, and probably a supporter of Jeff Landry. Jeff Landry is enacting all types of policies and procedures against our people in South Louisiana, cutting this, cutting that, more harsher sentences in the prison system, building more jails, and probably have the same ideology like Trump. Don't be so nice when you arrest people, right? When he was Attorney General, he failed to prosecute Alton Sterling, put a Negro figurehead with him as an assistant, didn't do anything. So my thing is this, Vincent, you can't serve two masters. You can't serve Mayor Blanco. Blanco, are you denouncing Trump policies, Trump tariffs, all the things that's hurting poor people, all the things that's going to be, all the cuts to Medicaid? They just announced the Republicans. So we got to speak in the same terms, and we got to do things in the same terms they are doing. This weakness with the Democrats and the progressives, some of the progressives and so-called fair weather liberal friends of ours, this has to change, Keith. I'm just saying. I know that was a mouthful, but we got to be able to. Somebody got to ask Blanco, do you support the greater MAGA movement? You support everything they do. You support all these mass deportation camps in Louisiana. Louisiana got all the major deportation camps. They're sending people to Louisiana, and so you got to ask, if these people are not for justice, you cannot be for Mayor Blanco, okay? Stop trying to cover up for her. Go ahead, Brother Keith.
And Brother J, when Mayor Blanco, and I talk a lot about Lafayette because Lafayette has developed this thing where it has the best culture, which is true. It's a family friendly place. Lafayette is one of the greatest places in the world, which is true. But the system is designed and tailored to one side. Now, before I get into that, Brother J, how many times on how many shows? I mean, the open line is one. If you want to go back to the old clip, the open line is one where she's been asked, will she denounce or stand out against the MAGA agenda?
Right.
And she took a street or road around that question. She start talking around that question. Right. But to get into it about how the system is designed and tailored here in Lafayette, and to say it's not true, let's do some little fact check. When they ran Monique Blanco on the north side of Lafayette, right, they was telling people she's a Democrat, but she had to register Republican because she knew being a woman and being a Democrat, she wouldn't win unless unless she be a Republican. She had a greater chance of being a Republican to win, and what she did. But I want to say in 89, 90, probably, after doing my research in 89, 90, probably, they knew that the population of the city of Lafayette, especially the north side, they knew the population was going to grow. They knew the population was going to grow. So when they seen the population growing and the agnocy and the different cultures changing, the population growing in other race groups other than that Caucasian race group, they came up with a system to where the parish of Lafayette joined with the city of Lafayette to save on the budget. Now, when they came up with that system and the system was designed, I mean, the city of Lafayette had more of a say so in that old system because those 5 council members, but not the black folks. You you had the same makeup as it is now. Maybe 2 black councilmen, 3 white ones, or 4 black councilmen, five white ones. But city and parish councilmen. But now it's a parish council where you have only 1 black representative serve on that council. 1 black representative serve on that council. 1 councilman for the whole black community, for the whole north side. 1 councilman that sits on the parish council, and then on the city council, you have 2 black councilmen and 3 white. Just two black seats and 3 whites. Which that third black seat can become one of those black seats can become. It can put a white person can sit in that seat too, which makes it which makes it possible to have 1 black seat on each councilman. So on each council, my bad, on each council. So just to show you, in Lafayette, things are gerrymandered too. We go back to in Lafayette, the charter is Jim Crow too. It's too, and the charter is so confusing. You seen that when Judge Guillory was in office. It's not the charter is not legally defined the way it's supposed to be, because so much in rewriting the charter, they were so focused on gerrymandering things to where the charter one section conflicts another section. And you see that during Josh Guillory time. So I say, instead of I'm with them on let's not bash our politicians. All right, I'm with them on that.
Yeah.
No, let's not bash our politicians, but let's do something better. Let's do something better. Let's get rid of that system that's set up. Let's fight to change that system that's set up. I guess we shouldn't do that either.
Yeah, Keith, and I have a thing on that. Let me accept this phone call right quick.
Go ahead, take the caller, Brother J.
Welcome, caller. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Good morning, caller. How you doing?
Good morning, caller.
You kind of low, Brother J.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. It's a little better.
All right, caller.
You know, I want to say good morning to you. Good morning to Brother Keith. You know, always a pleasure to have him on, because he do good research. You know, and the thing of it is, we talking about the council. We talking about the things that's going on with the council, but you're talking about the 2 black councilmen on the city council, and you talk about the one on the parish council. At one time, we had 5 city council, 4 parish councilmen. Now you got 5. And guess what? The parish done took over the city council. They have the meeting first, then they have joint meeting, and then they have city council meeting. And we got to not thank them, but we got to look at the one of our black city councilmen that went along to the five parish and 5 city. He even took and he how could I say that? He took the city District 3, turned it to District 1. He took District 4 and turned it to District 5. He gerrymandered us, you know. That's what he did. And when he did that, he messed up everything. Oh, this was the best thing that ever happened for the city of Lafayette. We're going to have 5 things that ever happened for the city of Lafayette. We're going to have 5 city councils that happened. But he got a radio program. He had all these people, and it was him, Jay Castile, and Bruce Cohen pushing this. And when they pushed this, they disrupted the city parish of Lafayette. And Brother Keith, you know, you and I was kind of up on top of that at the time, you know, before your father got sick and you had to go and really take care of him. You was a good son for doing that. But the thing of it is, we talk about our black elected officials, you know, but a lot of time our black elected officials go along to get along or to make sure that their pockets are fulfilled, and the people that they looking to vote for, the people that they looking to put in for us to put them in office, they are not looking out for us as voters to vote them in.
Correct.
Yeah, and brother, and before you address, brother, let me look. Before you address Brother Wallace on that issue, something you said about listen, I understand where you're coming from. Let's not bash our elected officials, but guess what?
Brother G, you kind of low.
Okay, some of the elected officials might be the problem. Some of the elected officials might not want the change. Some of them might be the ones blocking everything. So maybe sometimes you have to do some shock value, as you know, with the Republicans, what they doing right now. You might have to do some shock value and call them out. Go ahead, Brother Keith and Brother Wallace.
And Brother Wallace, that mean Brother Wallace, that mean you talking about?
With the council and what they doing and how they doing it, it seemed like they are scared to speak up for us as a community of people. They're only looking out for what's going on with themselves.
Brother Wallace, we don't we don't have enough representation.
I'm not hearing him, Brother Jay.
Oh, okay. All right. So try it now. Go ahead, Brother Keith.
All right, Brother Wallace, we don't have enough representation. So they know that whatever those white guys say, we gotta roll with them because we don't have enough representation. And that meeting you're talking about, Brother Wallace, and I know some people say you have to leave the past where the past, but no, we have to bring up the past in order for people to understand.
I'm not hearing through my phone, Brother Jay.
What's going on, or in order for people to understand the situation. A white councilman, a white on that city parish council before this split, before this new council, a white councilman, Mr. William Therrod, his district was fully in the unincorporated areas of Lafayette Parish. He was fully in unincorporated areas of Lafayette Parish where he benefited from consolidation. And he even said that this new system that they was designing was gonna be a mess. He said it. Down the line, it ain't. We gonna be back to where we started, and which is true. William Thurrott said, "Well, look. Let's be fair. Let's be fair. Let's cut the unincorporated areas up like a pie. Send some to Broussard, send some to Youngsville, send some to Lafayette, some to Carriacrone, and we split it between everybody. And also we gonna give Lafayette its mayor position, but they don't want that. They didn't want it. They didn't want it, and the councilmen, Bruce Conk and Kenneth Boudreaux, was councilmen that represented the city of Lafayette on that city parish council. And they didn't want it. They didn't want to do that. They didn't want to go for that. Oh no, oh no, that's not gonna be good for us. No.
Brother Wallace got to say. Go ahead, Brother Wallace. Brother Wallace, you still there?
Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I'm still here. I don't hear Brother Keith through my headset. I hear you. But you know what he's saying? He's exactly right. William Theriot fought him because he said that would have been no good for consolidation. And when he did that, they clowned him. They talked about him. They made him seem like he wasn't on their side, and he wasn't on their side. He was on the side of righteousness, you see. And like Kenneth Boudreaux, Jay Castile, and Bruce Conk, and Brother Keith, was that the Garaffa's name there? You know, he's the one that changed the district.
Yeah, Mike Heffernan.
That killed everything. That made it bad. That took the power away from Lafayette. Right now, Lafayette don't have no power over the parish council. Whatever the parish council say, the city got to almost go along with, unless it's something just for the city.
Correct. And look, Mike Brother Wallace,
that's his name.
Mike Heffernan. That's the demographic. Mike Heffernan. And I seen a case a while back in Baton Rouge where Mike Heffernan, a citizen, sued Mike Heffernan behind gerrymandering their school board district. And they won that case. So I was bringing it to some of the local leaders' attention, but they if it's not about a photo op, or it's not about some concert, or it's not about some good eating, some crawfish sucking, they don't want to hear about it. They don't want to hear about it. When it's about something good, and when it's about something good, something about change, they don't want to hear about it. But we need to get back. We need to get back to pressuring them to look into that charter, man. Change that charter. We got to find a way to change that system that's designed for designed to gerrymander.
For you brothers to understand, I know y'all understand. I mean, this genius out the bottle, this MAGA movement, this former Tea Party MAGA movement, Republican Party, now they know how to consolidate power. They know how to get all the power. You don't think they want to give up the control in Youngsville and in Broussard, where they're trying to control everybody else, right? They're not going to give it up easily. and that is the problem. We got some people who are extremist people. They're very extreme in the way they approach other people in the community. They're not going to give up so easily. And they're going to use all the shenanigans. They know how to use the courts now. You see with Trump on the national level. You see Jeff Landry and Liz Morrell. I mean, even if you look at how we discussed this on Brother Wilder's show, where they came in, Liz Morrell, and going to somewhat get into the open meeting law, a technicality concerning former Iberia Parish Sheriff Deputy and St. Martinville City Police Officer Cody Lapierus. See how they got involved in that? They're defending, even if this was wrong the way the meeting was put on, they're defending some white supremacist person who is doing damage as a police officer. And this is the problem. They know how to do that. I don't think they're going to give up so easily to let, for what Keith and Brother Wallace are talking about, to let them come and control, other people control things. They're not going to give up so easily. And even when a black person is sent to the leadership role, they find ways to destroy that person. You got to be extremist Uncle Tom, bootlicking Negro for these people in this area to like you. You know, that's all I'm going to have to say about that, because you guys are more of the experts.
I don't like to call him Uncle Tom.
Yes, sir.
Brother
Go ahead.
Jay,
I know you got a
Brother
more
Keith.
descriptive word. Go ahead, my brother.
I like to call him Nanny Tom.
Yeah.
They Nanny Tom because Uncle Tom was more aware of what was going on. These Nanny Tom, all they do is go along to get along to make sure that, like Brother Keith said, to go and get the select crawfish, the select shrimp, dinners, the barbecue, and all that. But they thinking because these Republicans are inviting them to their house so they could have drinks and all that other old stuff, you know, they're in with them. They're not in with them because once you get out of office, you're out of office, you know, and you're not going to get the things that you want unless you go and you're kissing butt, you know, not booties, you're kissing butt. And that's the way it is. Now, no, I'm not an elected official. This is why I don't want to be an elected official, because I'm not going to go kiss nobody's butt to be what I'm not and what they might want me to be to them. And that's the bottom line. And right now, Brother Jay, Brother Keith, we in a world of trouble because what Trump is doing, and I got to quit talking about him because every time you talk about it, that give him a step up the ladder.
And Brother Wallace, like I said, the fight is on the
local level.
The local level. If we can't ask the Blanco where she stand, I'm pretty sure if I ran for office and these Republicans I went before them, they would ask me where I stand, who I support. And black folks are scared, and the politicians and groups and organizations are scared to lay the cards down on the table and ask them where they stand on these very serious issues. So this is not no playtime right now. They're cutting Medicaid, right? So you support Liz Morrell and Jeff Landry in Baton Rouge and pushing that Blake Miguez agenda and burn the whole system down right now. And the people that are going to be affected are people of color and people who don't have the economic means. So you got to be able to ask Blanco, you support that? If we're going to carry you over the finish line, Blanco, and when we vote, do you support all this stuff this MAGA movement is doing? And so what happened, Brother Keith and Brother Wallace, those elected officials, those notables in the community, they get mad at a person like me or you or anybody if we pose those questions or push those questions out. They get very angry. That's how you know where they butter and they bread at. So that's why my criticism of elected officials in these times are justly deserved by them, because they need to be criticized. They need to be criticized.
And then, Brother Jay, you know, at one time,
you know, it seems like government is not for the people anymore. is for their own self-being. And their own self-being is not what they're supposed to be all about, you know. Uh, Mayor Blanco wants to adopt uh, Jefferson Street, you know.
Go ahead, Brother Wallace.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And what's going on? She want to adopt Johnson Street,
Right.
you know, and Gilboa Road, you know, and our two councilmen, one of them said she got to be more transparent with his district. You know, the other councilman said, well, what about what's going on with Moss Street? It's not just Moss Street. You got to worry about. You got to worry about all those other streets that's bad, that people travel on constantly. You know, Andy Narcan wanted to go from the railroad tracks all the way down on Johnson Street. You know, but we are, and I hope they stand their ground. You know, because she's out vocal now about Johnson Street, you know, and Gilboa and stuff like this here. But they're not being vocal on what's going on. They had a town hall meeting on yesterday about the library and the jail. The library is going to come there. The jail is going to come too, you know, because the sheriff is the top law enforcement officer in the parish of Lafayette. He said he needs the jail. Blanco said they don't have the money. They got the property. They got investors want to invest in that jail. So it's not the parish money or anything like this here. It's just
Let me say this, Brother Wallace, why I got to train of think.
Which I don't have no problem with it, you know, because that's not my fight. My fight is to make sure that my surrounding in the city, the people in the city, is getting the fair treatment that we get. My fight is against the police department that is doing things that they're not supposed to be doing.
Hey, Brother Jay, let me cut in for a minute.
People. You know,
Brother
they are
Brother
brutalizing a lot of our people.
Go ahead, Brother Keith.
Come on.
Yeah, but before we get too far deep into the fight about the police department, Brother Wallace, I want to go back to what you said about Mayor that meeting they had. The jail is going to happen. The jail is going to happen. The jail is going to be put on Willow, down the street from a school, down the street from neighborhoods. But Mayor Blanco was ran in the predominantly black communities, and she was ran on the north side, to saying that she was gonna get in and do things for the north side, do what she was supposed to do for the north side. So she's the top official over everybody in the parish of Lafayette, in the city and city of Lafayette. And from my understanding, that jail is gonna be almost a maximum secure prison. Almost. So this jail gonna house federal inmates, state inmates, state prisoners, federal prisoners, parish prisoners, and city prisoners. But the most dangerous is state and federal prisoners, because it's got to be they had to do something so severe, and to put that jail right next to about 4 or 5 different neighborhoods and down the street from a school, that's ridiculous. She was put in office to service make sure that things was being done better for the city, better management. That jail, that jail don't need to go there, and she should fight for it not to go there. She shouldn't fund that project. They need to find another property. They got other properties that's just there, just wooded area. It's no neighborhoods, no houses, no nothing. That's closer to the sheriff department. That's closer to the courthouse where they can put it in another area where you ain't got to worry about no school. You ain't got to worry about no neighborhood. You ain't got to worry about people having to live around there and continue with their daily lives around around there. So I'm thinking, is she fuzz? I'm like, Brother J. Oh, she need to be called out. Is she fuzz? Is she fuzz? Okay, Brother Wallace, you can finish your point.
Go ahead, Brother Wallace.
You know, Brother Keith, you know, right now the jail downtown is around two schools, Cathedral and that other one, Cathedral Carmel or something like this here. You know, they don't care about the jail being around a school or anything like this here, because right now it's downtown. You know, and the downtown jail, they got the roof supposed to be leaking about 5-6 years ago. I thought they had went up there and stopped all the water leaks in the jail, because I seen a lot of roofers around there. You understand me? They worried about transporting the inmates from where, how far they got to transport the inmates, and where the jail, they want the jail now, is not that far to transport inmates to the courthouse and things like this here. And I feel the downtown jail going to be used for federal prisoners, because they make more money on federal prisons than they do on parish prisoners, you know, or city prisoners. And, you know, if they straighten up, keep my community straight, my living status straight, stop the water from where we can't travel during rainy times and stuff like this here, that's what I'm concerned about. You know, and like I say, that jail, you're not gonna stop that jail. We had to fight for a library, you know, and I'm so glad they changed the library location from where they was putting it at, because they was putting it on Wilderness Trail, way back in the boondocks. Now they brought it up, you know, to where it'll be a neighborhood library. You see? So, and that's just me, you know. I'm standing firm on my decision, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna stand firm on their decision, because they got more power than me, you know.
Right.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, that the jail, after looking at the plans that the sheriff had, we never changed sheriffs. We never changed sheriffs here in Lafayette. I want everybody to understand, we never changed sheriffs. We changed just mayor, president, just the top seat. That's all that was changed. So the sheriff design's not gonna change. His design is gonna stay the same. And all the city of Lafayette, I'm at all Lafayette, all Lafayette consolidated government is supposed to do is the pay for the land, pay for it to be built, and that's it. The sheriff go with with his plans he want. He acquired the land. He acquired the land. He acquired a contractor, and all Lafayette consolidated government do is just push the money. That's it. That's it. Just push the money. So the plans of the jail is not gonna change. If they're gonna put it there, it's gonna be a maximum secured facility. It's gonna be a facility that's gonna house those prisoners. Cause he said it already. He said it already. The jail will be able to house state prisoners, federal prisoners, and he said that the jail would be able to make the sheriff department would be able to um get taxpayer revenue back from housing prisoners from other areas. So you know what that means? Mississippi, you can't fit them. We'll take them. We'll take them here in Lafayette. We'll take them, but we'll take them for this much. It's the slave ships all over again. That's what they're going to do with the jail. Slave ship.
Yeah.
They're going to make it slave ship all over again.
And also, this focus is not probably going to be on rehabilitation. It could be more on punishment, incarceration, and so forth. So just look for that. I want to ask Brother Wallace and Brother Keith on another question. I have this graphic up right here. They are proposing now to, the bill before Congress, and they're pushing it. It might get there's an excellent chance, not excellent, good chance that it might pass concerning Medicaid cuts and require work requirements on Medicaid. Now, Brother Wallace, given our up in age status, that we have some type of debilitating condition that I wonder if that go apply to somebody who has that, and how would they do that? To get Medicaid, most of the people on Medicaid are people who basically can't work. I mean, what they want you to go to work sick? This is some
and I got it.
Discourage people, Brother Wallace.
Well, you know what, Brother Jay, I get a lot of scam calls. Louisiana resident, they giving you so much money for this and so much money for that. But what they want your Social Security number. And once you get your Social Security number, I feel that they could erase your Medicare, your Medicaid, all the things that you work hard for and you're getting now.
And it's not just them. Elon Musk and his group with Doge, whatever they call that stupid, goofy name, get out of Dodge, whatever they want to call it, acronym. They have access to. They got all our information, and they can use it much more damaging ways than scammers. Because at least you can identify a scammer once you catch him, and you could say he committed a crime. But under the Doge outfit, they could say, well, they represent the government. They could sell your information, release your information, spy on you, track your spending habits, use that as an excuse to go after you and say you committed a criminal fraud. They could do so many damn things, especially a person like Elon Musk, who's a basically upfront racist,
Well, our phones, Brother Jay, just look at our phones.
Mm-hmm.
Your people could keep track of you where you're at on your phone. You got a location on your phone.
Right.
Once you put that location on, they know where you're at all times.
Right.
I'm not gonna say nothing on my phone. A lot of time I'm talking to people, and I hear a voice in the background. I hear things that's going on. I might get a drop call and never touch my phone. I don't even have my phone in my hand.
Right.
Other people say they don't hear what I hear. Sometimes they hear and I don't hear.
Right.
So all these things, we have to be concerned about, social media, our people as black people, colored people, Negroes, Creole, whatever we call ourselves, we better know. If we're a child of God, we better know what's going on around us. because if we don't know what's going on around us, shame on us. We need to keep up with our history, all the things that black people was supposed to invented. These people not really trying to let us know our history. They're trying to take our history away from us. They don't want us to have it in schools. They with Trump being in office, he's trying to erase black,
Yes.
or colored people, or Negroes, whatever he gonna call us. That's what he's trying to erase. People of color history, and we can't allow our history to be erased. I'm not a Cajun.
Yes.
Cajun culture is all over the place.
Well, that's
And
technically that's a DEI right there. I mean, there's no qualms. I don't hear Blanco and them talking about we need to cancel all the DEI. Matter of fact, with Blanco, I think, and the people around her, their silence is complying with the Trump administration.
And I want to say this, Brother Jay, about but before y'all get too far, before I lose my train of thought, what y'all was saying about Medicaid, this shit here, man.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to see, but these people are stupid, man. The GOP is stupid.
Stupid, evil, corrupt. Every adjective, adverb you could describe.
Come on.
And in denial. Some of them are in denial. Because, the people that come up there, the other show with the upside down flag, I said, but damn, how can these people be elected officials and one of them serving on the Lafayette City Council and be such a idiot a-hole? How can it be like that? And people accept it.
Come on, Brother Keith. Come on, Brother Keith.
The only people that's on Medicaid is the people that's disabled and children. Just children and people that's disabled. So if and in order for somebody to get Medicaid, they gotta be damn nearly
well, look at the one that got the radio talk show on the city council.
Yeah, and they gotta be damn nearly paralyzed to get it. So how you expect to send these children? What, they gonna start pulling children out of school to go to work to get Medicaid?
Ron DeSantis out there, the other MAGA governor in Florida, he was trying that stuff. They was shot down in the state legislature, but they would try anything. I guess they would see if black folk would just say just to live in certain neighborhoods in Youngsville, you just have to agree to go pick cotton for us. It might, it might happen soon, because they crossing, like they say, they crossing the Rubicon, Brother Wallace. They're doing things that wasn't even attempted back. I mean, what they did in the 60s, it was much more egregious. The fire hoses, the billy stick, the shooting point blank. Well, they're doing it another way, Brother Wallace. They're letting you get comfortable in Youngsville in a nice house, and then when you get out on the road like that brother we showed earlier in his Mercedes, they go pull him on the side and they could beat the hell out of him. That's where they're going with the stuff like that.
Brother Jay, I look at it like this here too. You could build a jail on the north side. You could build a hospital on the north side.
Yes, sir.
A hospital with emergency access.
Before we get to that,
but build a hospital also.
That's needed. A hospital is needed. A hospital is damn well needed. Is needed. And Mr. Wallace, I know we done had some politicians tell you, the government can't make it happen. Well, the state did, and the state did. And the governor at the time, Bobby Jindal, used it. Now, what I'm about to say is just my speaking. It don't speak for the station. It don't speak for nobody else. The governor at the time, Bobby Jindal, And, the funds collected from the state ran hospital. Shit, that money he used it to go ghost. He used it to go on vacation, huh?
Right.
So, I mean, don't let nobody tell you, Mr. Wallace, that government don't do that. They can do it. They do private public partnerships all the time. They do it all the time. Private public partnership. They was going to do it with the jail. Do a private public partnership.
Well, I got news for
They
people.
can do it do a hospital.
For people who not informed, Louisiana, again, the title aptly deserved, the prison capital of the world. That's some music playing.
Gotta call it.
Okay.
That might be Wallace.
Okay, that's Brother Wallace. Brother Wallace dropped off the line. That's my background music when he dropped off the line. But like I said, Brother Keith, we are at a crossroads as far as the way we are dealing with this MAGA movement, this South Louisiana MAGA movement. Too. Matter of fact, it's much they more like in stealth mode in this area. They're applying that racism, but they're feeding us a lot of go out and party and have a good time and eat, drink, and be merry type stuff. So we don't realize what the other the other states are experiencing in the way it's playing out in the so-called regular media. It's like everything is all right. You notice when the local KLFI affiliate showed the clip on the brother, they did it in a normalized manner. It's not no strike against the black reporter, but the black reporters they write their stories, but there's an editor. And trust me, that editor has that MAGA agenda in mind when they talk. They're not going to be blatantly truthful about a lot of stuff like we do. We showing things that's happening around the world. I run clips with Brother Rashad Ritchie, Roland Martin. Some of the white liberals have some things that are so egregious. Keith, I want to play one clip, and I know we're going into the second hour. Stay there. I want to play one more clip for people to understand what is really going on in the Lafayette area. For people to understand from Lafayette what's going on the national scene. So let me see if I can pull up this clip concerning some things that are going on with the MAGA movement and how it's trickling down here, but people are in denial. So let me play this. Okay, Brother Keys, all right with you?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay.
This was the claim that she body slammed these steely-eyed, armed agents of the state. Apparently, they're such just weaklings that they were bested by these two Congress ladies. Republican Congressman from Texas, Michael McCall, appeared on the Sunday shows this weekend, and he said something about as flagrantly racist and disgusting against his colleagues as I've heard come out of anyone's mouth short of Paul Gosar or Steve King when he was in Congress or Marjorie Taylor Greene. Just vile, putrid, sickening, division-creating racism. And it surrounds the arrest of Newark Mayor Ras Baraka, right? I talked about this on Saturday. You can watch that video. Here's the thumbnail. I would encourage you to do so. I went through it in great detail. And now he's being asked, what do you think about Donald Trump arresting and threatening to arrest members of Congress, your colleagues, people in your job? Because if they can arrest them, they can arrest you too, brother. I mean, that didn't get asked. Should have been. And his answer is that they were administering gang violence against Homeland Security and our federal police force. Now, you might say to yourself, well, why is that racist? And you'd have to know who was there to really embrace and understand just how vile and racist it is. Because the man who was arrested, black. 2 sitting members of Congress, black. Apparently anytime they protest, anytime they exercise their oversight capacity, and it's It's written in law that they have the ability to inspect these facilities. He calls it gang violence. I wonder why. Well, what's the difference between him going there, other members of Congress going there, and these particular members who were arrested and assaulted by federal officials? Watch racist garbage person Michael McCall.
Should ICE be arresting or even threatening to arrest members of Congress?
I mean, that's obviously a very drastic move. I would only do that if they were complicit with a crime. I don't know all the facts behind this. If they were just visiting a detention center, I've done that many times. If they're disrupting law enforcement, that's another question. So, we can peacefully protest in this country, but you cannot be complicit with gang violence against our law enforcement. And I think perhaps that's what it comes down to.
It's racist trash is what that is. Michael McCall is a vile, sinister, white nationalist, garbage, racist piece of shit, right? And the federal government is lying. I said it in an earlier video. I've been saying it. You cannot trust this federal government. You cannot trust the Trump government. They are liars. So what went down after the arrest of the mayor of Newark is she's not the spokesperson. She is the assistant secretary for public affairs for Homeland Security. This 10-year-old, Tricia McLaughlin, was dispatched to lie to the American people and by extension the world and say that a member of Congress, by the way, these two female members of Congress, one of them is an elderly old lady. The other one, they're just a couple of ladies. Nobody's body slamming. This was the claim, that she body slammed these steely-eyed, gritty, face-covered, flak jacket-wearing, armed agents of the state. Apparently, they're such just weaklings that they were bested by these two Congress ladies. And not only did these frail or apparently hulkish Congress people body slam them, she also claims, we got receipts. We've got the body cam footage. Watch her lie to the American people.
We should let viewers know there will likely be more arrests coming. We actually have body camera footage of some of these members of Congress assaulting our ICE enforcement officers, including body slamming a female ICE officer. So we will be showing that to viewers very shortly.
You say a video of members of Congress body slamming ICE
That's correct.
officials?
That's correct, sir. It's disgusting.
Okay, and so if you have that video, are you suggesting that members of Congress will be arrested who were there yesterday?
This is an ongoing investigation, and that is definitely on the table.
Who has the video?
ICE does, and we will be releasing that very shortly.
Okay.
Wow. So if that's true, let's see the footage. Let's see this body slam footage. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday on the WWE. Let's see it. Let's see it.
Yeah, Brother Keith, I was up there laughing, man.
Oh, yeah, Brother G, but man.
Dollamore, I'm going to say this.
Crazy.
Even though Dollamore is a Caucasian, I love the way he presents his show. At least he's being honest. And I mean, it's so funny that this little white spokesman, and notice how Trump and that administration, that Project 2025 administration, rolls out all these blind spokesperson, blind, blue-eyed spokesperson. That's telling you that's telling black folks a whole lot. Well, know where you're at, black folks. Know who's your enemy. Know who's rolling against you. They roll out the blind hair, all the stuff that Hitler did back in the day. His propaganda ministers, Stephen Miller, and all that. They roll out these little blondie, Barbie-looking spokesmen who goes up there and they lie in front of your face, just like that press secretary in the White House press, Caroline Levitt.
Oh, yeah.
She lies 5 minutes, and she's mean. And there's some mean. Actually, those girls would make a damn good Mean Girl movies. They'll make a damn good Mean Girl movie. So she lied saying this little frail these congressmen, black congresswomen.
Yeah, old lady. an old lady go body slam some ice
Yeah,
agents. Come on, man.
Yeah. So that tells you where we at, man.
That's just because they don't want political oversight. And I mean, the
I'm
Trump
straight up. I'm straight up keep like this. This is pure this Nazi shit. Excuse me for cursing. Nazi, Klansman shit put together. That's what it is. And the people who uphold it in office don't say nothing. Like Blanco and everybody else, they complicit with all of that stuff.
That's completely slave masters type stuff. Correct. Mm-hmm. You're right. But man, when members of Congress can't do the oversight like they supposed to, it's getting hectic. You know,
well,
it's getting hectic.
I did post that after the mayor of Newark, Ras Barak, a good brother. I've been following him for years. He come up the long way. I've been an activist too. Community. Well, would it be so amazing if Cleo and the brother from New Orleans, who's the congressman, also the only two black congressmen we got, and only a Democrat or maybe of a liberal progressive persuasion, would it be great that and the so-called Louisiana State Black Caucus would show up at some of these detention centers in Gina and the one in Basile and saying, we can't let Jeff Landry and Donald Trump turn Louisiana, Liz Morrell and Pam Bondi turn Louisiana into a super prison concentration camp. We already got Angola. We got jails all over the place. They're building juvenile justice jails all over the place. We letting Louisiana become, and we gonna be the commodity. We gonna be the commodity. They gonna find ways to incarcerate everybody, and people don't realize that it's not no conjecture. It's happening right before us, and we just want to sit along and look for the next concert or next weekend festival.
And then, folks, your children, really, that's where they start. That's why they're building a juvenile justice. They put that law on the books. It failed. They put that amendment on the book. It failed, but don't think they're not coming back with it. They coming back with it. They're gonna start at 10 years old with your children. Mm-hmm. They're gonna start at 10 years old. Then from there, they're gonna go up in age. If they pass that 10-year-old law, next 5 years, the number gonna go down. The number gonna go down from when they can take your children and put them in the juvenile justice facility. Right. And from there, the system gonna raise them till they get old enough to go to an adult facility. Now that child got that prison now your child got the prison mentality. So they know we didn't program him to come back. Right. We gonna put him on the street. He gonna be right back.
And granted that some of these organizations they try. You know, I know a couple of ministerial organizations want to get together every weekend and drive these young people to Angola and so forth. Now that's great. That's good in the sense if you think about it. But I'm past that point. Taking a child to Angola will really help them out because you're not actually taking the person who really going to be the shooter out there. What I think we should do more is take our people to see the grave of Martin Luther King out there in Atlanta. Take them to the National Cultural Black History Museum in Washington, D.C. What's left of it because they're trying to gut that.
Gut that out.
Take them to the gravesite of Fred Hampton in North Louisiana, where every year they do a memorial service, Fred Hampton of the Black Panthers. And every year they do a memorial service, and what you see that is how very traumatic that was for the Hampton family to go through all these bad things that happened with him. You know, I'm gonna try to bring Keith back in a minute. Let's see, Keith. We lost Keith. Maybe he'll come back in a minute. Let's see. Okay. And so you got so many different things are happening. Okay, Keith, you back? Okay, let's get Keith back. All right, brother Keith, you back?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, sure. So
yeah, but like I was saying,
yeah,
take the young people to see the gravesite of Fred Hampton in North Louisiana, or take him to a memorial service, support the Ronald Green family. Do things like that with our young people for them to understand where we was and where we're going to. And stop taking them to the prison and let them know that's what they're going to aspire to be in the prison system, you know. And if you're a person who was an ex-prisoner, we'll come and do a talk to a group outside of the prison wall. I want to bring brother, we have a phone call. Go ahead. Caller? Hello? Caller?
I lost y'all.
Yes, sir.
I lost y'all, Brother Jay.
Okay. So we still on, right? On Cox Cable and LUS Fiber, right? In your area?
Yeah, I got Cox. I mean LUS. I got LUS Fiber in my area.
Okay. Great. Yeah, we and brother Keith was just talking about some things that's going on the national level as it pertains to our youth, how we expose our youth to the prison system by taking them there on a tour. And my argument is that just like a balloon release or a memorial thing, brother Keith, when they have some gun violence, you're not going to see the shooters over there unless the shooter's coming for revenge or to study some people. But the shooter's not going to come in and say, oh, I need to sit down and listen to this. We have to go at our young people and make them understand the history of America and who is the people are responsible for us to be behind in a lot of knowledge that we should have in our community.
Correct.
Well, you know what, Brother Jay? I feel like this here. In our community, we're not really pushing our kids into education. We're pushing our kids into school. And school is a building. Education is where the teachers and the principal, the assistant principal, the superintendent of school, making sure that these kids getting a good education. Education is the key to a lot of things, you know. Let them take these kids and find out what's going on with them as far as their mentality go and things like this here, and make sure that they get the education that they need and they have to have. Everybody's not on the same level in getting an education, but everybody wants an education. We got old J. Wallace James School. Right. I feel that they want to make it a homeless shelter and stuff like this here. Why don't we make it out of a trade school? You understand me? To where these kids learning how to do brakes, learning how to rebuild engines, learning the things about these cars that's going to be tearing up, and they could go to work for some of these different companies that's selling cars, you know. But we're not looking forward to educating our kids. We're looking forward in putting them in jail, you know, and jail is not really the answer. Yeah, you're giving the correctional officer a job and stuff like this here. And a lot of kids, I think if they had a trade or something that they was interested in and making them getting their education, they would be a little different. And that's just my thoughts, you know. And Brother Keith, you're a whole lot younger than Brother Jay and I, you know. And I think you would have a lot of the answers, because I remember when you was just coming into your teens, you was into AOC. Linda Williams and stuff like this here brought you up under our wings and educated you into Cameron and computers and stuff like this here. And you turn out to be a fine young man.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. We need a lot more Linda Williamsons. I don't. Anybody see Miss Linda Williamson out there? To tell her I say thank her. But we need a lot now. We need a lot of Linda Williamsons in the community.
Yeah, brother. I want to bring this up on screen, brother Wallace and brother Keith. Right now they're trying to cancel blackness. That's the way I look at it. I mean, I'm gonna just be like I say, straight up and honest. And we not calling our legislators on why they. This whole thing about what they call diversity, equity, inclusion, and all that. It could be used all types of ways. They turn it on its head. They say woke is bad and all this other stuff. But we can't let them take the narrative, and somehow people fall for that stuff. And I hear young people say, "I'm not. Oh man, you all woke on me." The whole thing is this: they don't know our history. They trying to cancel blackness in a sense, especially over here. And they've been doing that when it was promoting Cajun stuff. They was trying to cancel blackness.
Wait, let me get this one right quick. Yeah. Brother Jay, it's more. It's not more that they don't.
Those that was aware of it, it wasn't enough of us being aware of it, and we just sat back and let them push blacks out and push Cajun in.
But Brother Jay, Brother Wallace, it's not that they don't know. Mm-hmm. It's not that they don't know. It's not that it's not that we don't know. We know, they know. We know what happened in the past. Because we know how to look at history and our culture. It's in our culture. And they know, because they know what they did in the past. And if you go back and you watch how these white families work, it's taught. It was taught. If you go back and look at the history, it was taught to when the minute that white baby come out, he's taught hatred. He's taught the race card. A black person, the minute a black baby would grow to about 1-2 where they're able to talk. Hey boy, don't you go by me don't you go by Miss Sarah Lee's house. Don't you do this, don't you do that, So it was taught. And it's still like that. You got some white families today that still teaches the kids not to indulge in the black folks as equal. And a lot of them are they're just doing it, covering it up in a way, and they're calling it wokeness. Because a lot of blacks are starting to mix with whites,
Yeah.
And then you having a black man mate with a white female. So they thinking, well, my child got black, my grandchild gonna have black in it. So we don't want our grandchild to know that we used to beat his daddy ancestors, know.
Yeah.
So we gonna cancel all
y'all
this.
new pope, right?
Correct. Shit, man, we gotta
down when we talk about the Catholic Church, because
we got an African American
precedes this show, but the whole
we got an African American pope, man. We got an African American pope.
Should we break out the song?
Pope, man. We got an African.
"Oh Happy Day" by Edwin. Man, no, but seriously, man, the whole thing about even if you want to look at it, if you got tax dollars being taken from black folk, Brother Wiles and Brother Keith, you got tax dollars. So who are there to say that teaching about diversity when it comes to blackness? That's what I'm focused on, the black part of this diverse thing. And teaching about black history, we paying taxes, So every type of conceivable tax you could take. So you telling us we can't talk about that? You could talk about the American Revolution, so-called, but you can't talk about the enslavement of black folks, the tragedies, all the bad, the Holocaust, everything. But the Jewish people could talk about their Holocaust 24/7, right? Black folks can't talk about it. Now you see Trump, Brother Wallace and Brother Keith, I'm going to let y'all roll on this. He brought in families from South Africa, claiming that these people were being oppressed when they were not being oppressed. They are basically a bunch of racist people that wants to come because Trump gave the invitation. So South Africa was just like the American South, people being oppressed. 7% of it's only 7% of people who live in South Africa are white Afrikaners, but they own almost 80% of the land out there. That tells you a whole lot, you know, and people are accepting of that. And don't be surprised if these South African families shows up in South Louisiana as your neighbor.
Correct.
Brother Wallace?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't be surprised. Hey, bro, you know, back in '96, when I first came back home from California, I seen a lot of Mexican here. Black people couldn't recognize them because my wife, bless her soul, you know, she asked me how could I tell them. I said I've been around them, so I could look at them and just like they could look at me and tell me who I am, I could look at them and tell them who they are, you know. And right now, there's so many here, it's a shame, you know. They're talking about blacks taking the job. Black is not taking the job. Robots are taking the job. People that want to work is taking the job. If you don't want to work, you don't want to work. But if you want to work, they have jobs out there. It might not be a top dollar job, but guess what? It's a job, you know, and that's the way it is, man. You know, they do things that we won't do or don't want to do or don't know how to do, you know. I see people that have Spanish people working for them. They don't have to go pick them up. They don't have to go wait for them. They come to the job and come to the job ready to work. I seen this all over when I was driving truck. Go ahead, Keith.
But that federal mandate where to get rid of DEI, what that is to where they don't have to have another culture in top positions. You know, is where the Caucasian culture gonna still rule all top positions. They don't have to worry about you. Don't have to worry about having a colored person in a top position. Mr. Bobby, you won't have to answer to the Negro. You know, the Negro have to answer to you. You know, that's how they want it. And if you look at it, Biden was the president then. Obama one of the two. Senator Tommy Tuberville. Senator Tommy Tuberville. His speeches.
I don't know how in the hell he coached football, being an idiot like that.
Correct. His speeches brought us to this point. Was letting us know what the MAGA agenda was going to be, because he said, I think that's him. He said by the time we start writing down, kicking down, knocking on doors, taking down names, and kicking asses, right?
Right.
He said that in the speech. Another thing he said about they want reparation. They want reparation. Start taking away food stamps. Start taking away Medicaid, and that'll be their reparation. There's a lot of speeches he gave that
He
that had.
coached young black males. He coached young black males, and a lot of them who he coached say they respect him. And I say, well, y'all really didn't know him because sometimes some white supremacy could act good. Just think you in Lafayette, just because we have people who just get along with you, don't mean they love you or care for you. But when
it's a mask. It's a mask, brother Jay. It's a mask. Like they masking all these gerrymandering things. They masking all these things that's going on within these different police departments. Notice, every time something happens within a police department or with government that shows dishonesty to the black community or not equal, they come up with some festival and throw a black artist on it. You know, they come up with some event and throw a black artist on it. We gonna have a crawfish. We gonna have a crawfish ball this weekend. But yet last weekend, they buddies them beat Lil Johnny down to the ground. He came, or didn't kill him, or he halfway dead, one of the two. And then they say, well, we gonna take somebody like Dennis Landry and put him on a big stage, and we gonna have a concert. We gonna have we gonna have the Bean Festival. Yeah. And then we gonna have a damn good time. We gonna let them have a damn good time. But when they gonna leave, we gonna catch little Johnny and we gonna tear his ass. You know.
Yeah. Well, again, law enforcement itself right now, it's an eternal fight. People, even when Trump wasn't there, and he at least he up front and he's explicit about what he's telling law enforcement, what he's supporting and what he's putting in place with the Justice Department, gutting all the civil rights laws, changing them now. You won't be able to actually get the feds or the FBI to come in and investigate.
Involved in nothing.
You won't be able to get them to do anything. The whole point is that we have to keep using our voice to talk about it. Some people don't understand that they are shutting down the media. Trump just signed a couple of executive orders to do away with funding for PBS and NPR, which is illegal. Trump can't do that because that's supposed to be funded by Congress, by laws made up already. A lot of things he's doing with these executive orders are against the very laws that were made to create those programs and entity. So he's trying to govern by executive order. He's trying to govern by Hitler. He's trying to, send out the marching orders to the Brown Church, which is the ICE agents. Everybody got a place in history, and that's what he's trying to do. Shut the media.
Yeah, that's it. And then not just with PBS or anything that could show that what he's saying is not right, or what he on is not facts, or what the Republicans on is not facts. They want to kill it. They want to kill the mainstream
because he's not that smart enough to do all these things. He surrounded himself with the team. I call it Team Project 2025 boys. One hails from Lafayette, Kevin Roberts, a proud UL Raging Cajun graduate. And big and better thing. He's one of the architects of Project 2025. You got the other guy, part of it, is the head of the FTC. He got his people in place. He got an attorney general who will do everything. Blondie, what we call that? Blondie, Barbie, mean girl type of person. That's who he has. People in his place to do these things. On the state level, he got these governors like Jeff Landry, a MAGA, correct. Be MAGA from back of town, St. Martinville, want to be tough, a third-rate cop. That's the people who's running things. and they running things into the ground while they running things.
And then he got the House, the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson from Louisiana, to keep the Republicans in line.
Some people say he's a weirdo. He might be. He's so obsessed with the gay agenda till he might be gay himself. Because you got to know, when they got all these obsessions with certain things, they're not doing it for their Christian belief system, because they're some hypocrites. They might all go in a room somewhere and do a freak off like P. Diddy. And there's a lot of reports on Mike Johnson and his obsession with certain things. You know, so these are hypocrites. I just say, these are hypocrites who don't really stand for what they believe. I mean, they really don't believe what they stand for publicly.
Yeah, and another thing with these police departments, I want to say this, Brother Jay, before we get too far in, and I'll forget. We need more citizen oversight committees, man. We need more citizen oversight committees, where they can subpoena, and also give them the authority. Maybe Brother Mr. Wallace want to chime in on this too. Give them the authority to subpoena records, files, and let a citizen review the pattern. Let a citizen review the patterns, habits, and these incidents. Because Southwest Louisiana, and I know we clowning, we talking about national, Brother Jay, we going all over, but focusing just on South Louisiana is happening too many times, over and over. One hour citizens either getting stopped for wrongdoing. Either getting stopped due to police wrongdoing, for them to do something dirty, or they getting choked up, punched down for nothing, or they getting killed, or they getting even if a person did do something, once you got him in cuffs and you got him to comply, and you get him to comply with the orders.
We do need a state citizen review committee with subpoena power, and a city citizen review board with subpoena power.
Correct, because too many of them to get them in handcuffs. Now they got them in handcuffs. Now don't get me wrong, they got to be arrested because they did something bad. They did wrong. They committed a crime. But once you get them in handcuffs, you able to detain them. You able to arrest them. They're not doing that. That's it. Your extra level of force. It should never go to excessive. You should never use excessive force once you got them.
I'm glad you
to
bring
comply.
that point up. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but that's a very important case, and that they're being quiet about in New Iberia, where a young man, they just buried him, was shot multiple times, and some rumors, and this is a rumor, that he was shot over 30 times by law enforcement while he was running from them. That tells you a whole lot. But the New Iberia City Police, who comes out of the Iberia Parish Sheriff Department, there's a distinction between them, true, but Iberia Parish itself in the city of New Iberia has a very sordid history when it's come to dealing with police shootings. And I think transparency coming forward, you got video, you got information, tell the public. So people like you and I don't have to sit down and speculate on what happened. Come forward, come and tell us. And people, don't just think judgment on money is a thing going to stop this stuff. It's probably never going to be stopped long as we have evil and good running amok on this planet, and good should be a good thing running amok as opposed to evil. But racism is evil, and doing the wrong things at the hands of law enforcement is a thing. It's a real thing. It's not no imaginary stuff. Black males are being shot down, beat up, Go to brother Rashad Ritchie on YouTube on the Young Turkey. Look at all the countless videos he has of something being done wrong to a black person, being pulled over, being stopped. So we in our right mind that when we get pulled over by law enforcement, Brother Wallace, we should be aware, we should be worried that something negative over by law enforcement, Brother Wallace, we should be aware that could happen to you. You know, I just showed what happened to the brother in St. Mary Parish.
Correct.
I hope he comes on our show and talk about it. We believe in transparency. They don't believe in transparency. They believe in hiding. If you got the body cam, why you don't show it? If you got access to the deceased person, why you keep them away from the family? Even if you say you want to investigate, why you gonna keep them away from the family and they don't get the body till the coroner then cut the body all up? We got to pay attention to these shootings, pay attention to these killings by law enforcement. And if somebody in New Iberia want to come forward and get on one of our platform, feel free to contact us. You know how to reach us at 88.3 or here at AOC Community Media. We believe in transparency. They don't believe in transparency.
Civil Service Committee is not getting it. Civil Service Committee is made with law enforcement. You know,
civil service, the Civil Service Committee, Civil Service boards, they are made to protect the interests of government. So if something happens and a decision could be made that with civil service that it'll go against the interests of the government, well, they gonna roll with the government on the issue. So that's why I say we need a real citizen. And Mr. Wallace, when I say a citizen review board with subpoena power, we mean just that, a citizens review board. Natural citizens, not nobody tied not nobody got ties into government, local government, state government, federal government. Not regular citizens that can review what's going on. Look at what's going on. Patterson practices when things are, because it's far too often it's happening in the state of Louisiana, really. But really, in these southern areas of the state, fall back to back to back to back to back to back to back every weekend.
Regular citizens that don't want to be a nanny tone.
The main issue right there, the new documentary coming out concerning Ronald Green called Unpunished. It's a great title in the sense that some people were left unpunished. You have his mother on the left-hand side, that's Miss Mona Green, and former Louisiana State Trooper Carl Cavalier on the right-hand side. So I urge everybody, once this documentary come out, to get behind it and support it. This is the whole truth, nothing but the truth concerning Ronald Green, the Ronald Green case, which is a sordid story. And at the end of the day, the family did not really get any type of justice. And Brother Carl Cavalier, he got a sour deal by the Louisiana State Police because he tried to expose what they were doing, him as a Louisiana State Police officer.
Correct, and that's what I'm saying. Would an officer give an account of what happened? You know, these officers still got away with it with testimony. Well, Brother Jay, we could have expected that, because let's go back and you know, I got to bring it up. The New Iberia Sheriff Department, the former Sheriff Louis Ackle, you know, he beat a case with 10, 11 officers testifying as to what he made them do. You know, so he beat the case. Need to read the court transcript.
Go read the court transcript. Look for it on Google. Iberia Parish Sheriff.
Google, yeah.
The Feds versus Iberia Parish Sheriff Lewis. Go and read that. Go ahead, Keith.
Yeah, And then that goes to show you, Mr. Wallace, like Mr. Wallace said, done any time. And I ain't gonna never let them live it down. where the NAACP was protesting in front of the courthouse, front of Iberia Parish courthouse, and the president of the NAACP
chapter
going to lunch
in New Iberia, New Iberia chapter president. We won't make that distinction.
Yeah. Let's make this distinction, not the state, but the local chapter of the Iberia Parish or
I'm not saying the
NAACP at the
state
top.
chapter and the regional people did not know anything about the president, the Iberia Parish chapter leader eating and supporting the sheriff. I'm saying they probably knew that was going on, but the people didn't know at the time.
Walking hand in hand, and you can go back and look at the clip on TV 10 that Dalford Jones caught, but walking hand in hand while he's on trial for civil rights for civil rights violations, and the chapter president in Iberia chapter in NAACP president walking hand in hand with the same man that's on trial for civil rights violations. Maybe took the stand for him. Who knows?
I couldn't understand why when I asked on one of the talk shows before I got on that very same talk show as a host, when I asked the now deceased Miss Janelle Shackway and Mike McClanahan, who's now the president of the state chapter, nobody knew about this. And I don't know what, somebody say, well, what's purpose it going to serve if people knew, Keith? Well, it'll know how to guide the people to approach the whole notion of a trial being moved to Shreveport away from this area, and people would know what is going on. Because if you protesting, you still don't know how things will turn out, right? So why not know about what happened with the with the NAACP chapter president leading in other words, supporting the sheriff who's been accused of many things, not only by the people, by the inmates, but by his own high-ranking deputies. There wasn't no regular deputies. These were deputies who were working on the SWAT team, the guys that would kick down doors and get their marching orders directly from Sheriff Acker. A quote in the transcript saying, "We going nigger knocking tonight." Excuse me for saying those words, but that was the quote from Sheriff Acker in the transcripts. But you're telling me that the state chapter president and the local regional president, we happen to be Miss Janelle and another unnamed person who's serving now, they didn't know about this, and then they want to get angry at you when you expose that? They want to be very mad at you when you bring it up. When you eat dinner with the likes of the Clay Higgins who abused people while he was an Opelousas Police Department member, now a member of the 3rd Congressional District delegation in Congress, when you expose, y'all want to eat dinner with people like that who's hurting the black community? This is what I'm saying, how illogical these things are, and that's why we are in the same position we have always been in, Brother Keith and Brother Wallace.
Yeah, correct. I mean, it's got to be the real deal. We got to come out with the real deal. Yeah. So that goes to show you where we did it. Now there's a few state reps look like us, come from the same culture as us. That man, their voting record is not it don't look too good, man. It don't look too good.
And for the community they serve,
in favor of the black folks. Everything Governor Landry puts out look like they voting in the affirmative. They voting for it. They voting with it. They voting against. They voting against the people who put them there.
So why Louisiana is last? They can't even explain why Louisiana is last. Who they gonna blame? The people.
Can't even. But folks, we need to this this election season, we need to really look at the election season that's coming up. We need to really look at uh how we voted and look at the track record of the people we voted for, and just stop voting for anybody that our organization put out there in our community. Or they gonna do this, they gonna do that, because there's a lot of officials we voted for.
No, we need to
that
look at
we was
who's getting the
expecting.
money to get out the vote.
Yeah, you're right, Mr. Wallace. You right about that too. But a lot of officials you right about that. We we voted for that we thought we put in to do certain things. They was gonna do certain things or not.
Because the
We
one that's
thought they
getting the
was gonna
money to
vote.
get out the vote, that's the one that's misleading us.
Correct. You're right. And to be frank, brother Jay, to tell the truth, you know, be truthful. Going around and seeing who's running operations and running shows around election, most of the time it's these old former politicians who've been promising things and it never happened. They got a politician sat in the seat for almost 30 years. Or I'm not going to say almost 30 years, but they got a politician sat in the seat for a long time. Was president of the council here in Lafayette. Might look like me. Had projects stacked and piled up that it'll take another councilman in order to get those projects done. They got projects that been stacked up for 30 years. In the former District 3. That was supposed to be done 30 years ago. Stack up the councilman for that district, just do it to the side. And that's who's running these other candidates in our community. That's who is supporting these other candidates. So just because so and so say that we need to vote for them, they're gonna be good for us. We need to go back and look at the track record and look how we voted. And when it come time for these so certain politicians to get re-elected, we need to look at the track record before we vote to send them back to Baton Rouge, Washington.
We're gonna have to do a litmus test. We're gonna have them to say, anyone our black elected caucus in this South Louisiana, the so-called Acadiana, and I spell that with 3 Ks, remember that, people, area, ask them to say the word MAGA. And if they can't say the word MAGA, that might be a litmus test that might work. Then we know who's for us and who's against us. Remember, it's only black elected officials from this Acadiana with 3 Ks. Ask them to say the word MAGA.
You know what, Brother Jay?
I know I'm gonna get some feedback.
I had an elected official. Tell me blacks been selling blacks, for years. And why stop now? I had an elected official. This is why I don't deal with them.
Right. Hey, look, y'all. Time done went down so fast, and I want to run the closing thing, and I want to appreciate you guys, and we just gonna have
I know we got a few.
Okay.
We got a few minutes.
Yeah.
All right, Brother Jay.
All right. We
think the viewing and listening.
11:26.
Yeah. Thank the viewing and listening audience for viewing and listening to us today. Till
right on.
next
Thank
time.
You, Brother Jay. We're gonna holler back.
And don't forget this Friday, tomorrow, the open line, and this Friday, Community Matters. Sign.